Hi guys, so today I'm Gavin and I will be presenting my RJ video for lesson 6. So the RJ question today will be today we learn about an exaggerated version of an invasion game, for example, which is like basketball or floorball. So from there can be seen that there are different tactical problems and tactical decisions. So what are your thoughts about this as a sports coach? Okay, so firstly, as a coach, every time that we are creating a lesson plan, we have to ensure that it is specifically designed out to ensure that our students will be able to hit our lesson objectives or tactical problems. So these lesson objectives, when using the TGFU framework, will be known as tactical goals slash problems and tactical decisions. Tactical decisions are basically what the player is doing when trying to carry out this tactical problem. Okay, so next, for each and every sport that you play, there will be different tactical goals and decisions. This is because there are many different types of sports and considered like genre. So like volleyball and badminton are considered net games, while like invasion games, as previously said, are like basketball and floorball. So now I'll be going to more in depth about what this is about. So firstly, I'll be talking about tactical decisions that we learned in the earlier games. In the earlier lessons, we learned about the tactical problems and decisions of net barrier games, such as badminton and volleyball. So examples of tactical problems would be maintaining a rally, setting up an attack, and winning a point if you are working on offense. The tactical decision then is needed to be made will be on and off ball skills, such as moving to receive the ball, deciding which part of the opponent's court that they are going to hit to, and how they are going to do it, such as either by making use of a spike or smash skill. So positioning oneself is also a tactical decision that they have to make based on how they want to receive or attack the shot. So some defense tactical problems that they will have will be defending the space and defending against attacks. The tactical decisions will then for the off ball would be to position ourselves in order to cover as much of the court as we can by shooting ourselves in order to back or by shooting ourselves in order to back our teammates. As in net games is only playing on outside of the court. We are not going to opponent's side, we're only staying on the outside. And also, for opponents to score, they have to hit down onto outside of the court. That's why we want to be able to cover as much space so that there is very little open space. So the on-ball skills for defense would be like blocking a downward hit by making use of a receive skill, or like in badminton, receive just like this, or like in volleyball, hitting it kind of like with our hands out like that, yeah. And also with all the specific coaching points, such as like bending your knees and keeping arms straight, yeah. So now let's compare this to tactical problems and decisions in an invasion game. So for the offense, the tactical problems that we can make use of will be keeping possession of the ball, penetrating the defense to attack the goal, and transitioning based on the play that we are making. So the off-ball tactical decisions in the same order will be supporting the ball carrier and knowing when and where to pass. When attacking, we need to know when to dribble and when to shoot while moving to open spaces, so that we can create opportunities to be made for scoring. The on-ball tactical decisions for this will be passing and receiving the ball, moving the ball such as dribbling, shooting, performing fakes, which is also part of dribbling, and performing quick passes. There are two types of passes. Quick passes like maybe just short distance passes, and they are like kind of like long distance where you try to some would say park the bus because you're passing the ball from one end to another, or like over a very long distance, so the ball is actually taking a longer time to travel. So now just be going a bit into this tactical problem. So keeping possession of the ball is very important because we want to score. So if you want to score, you have to keep possession of the ball so that we are able to create opportunities. So this is when we are by creating opportunities in order to create opportunities, we have to do penetrating the defense to attack the goal, which is kind of like making up the plays. But I'll also be talking a bit more about that later. For transitioning based on the plays that we are making is kind of like so let's say we are defending, and then now we have to find out, now that we have gotten back the ball, we have to move up from our side of the court to their side of the court. And how we're going to do it, maybe through passes, maybe through dribbling. So that is one of the things that you can think of as you're making our lesson plan. Okay, so now let's move on to defense. So in defense, the tactical problems will be defending the space or goal and trying to win back the ball as soon as possible. The tactical decisions that will be made off ball will be guarding and marking, footwork, as well as pressuring the ball carrier. So in basketball, the anticipation from watching the ball is kind of like called guarding. So like in basketball, there's also one more thing called anticipation. So like anticipation of where the ball fly to when taking the rebound. Cause if the opponent gets back the ball, they have another opportunity to try to score again. So the on ball skill this time will be tackling and stealing the ball, and defending the goal by stopping it if I were goalkeeper, or such as if I were defender and getting the rebound in basketball. So just let me just go into these tactical decisions. So when defending a space, so like we wanna make sure that all the passes that they have is actually cut off, or like try to prevent them from making any passes, which is also why we are doing man marking or guarding. So as we are defending, we also want to get back the ball in possession, because if the ball is in opponent's possession, we can't score, and yeah, that won't win us the game. So that's why we need to try to get the ball back as soon as possible, so that we can get possession and then make our offensive plays. Okay, so now in invasion games, there is one more component. So just now we talked about offense and defense. So there's also one more, the last component for invasion games will be initiation. So for this, the tactical problems will be starting and restarting the play, or beginning the play from starting or side or end lines. So the off-ball decision will be positioning and support positioning, and the on-ball decision will be initiating and putting the ball in play. So in a game, this will be important when the opponent has caused the ball to go out of bounds and now is our possession, but we are like kind of like just starting off from the side. So we want to be able to know what we can do so that we can move on to the opponent's side, or if we are already on the opponent's side, how can we score from that position we are in. So in floorball, there is a thing called free hit. Not really free hit, but when it goes out of bounds, we can try to take a free hit or do a passing. So if it goes out of bounds, then we'll start from the side and then look for opportunities to pass. So that but during this looking for opportunities to pass, we're also thinking of the play that we have learned from these coaching sessions. So we will probably have worked it out during by doing drills. For if let's say they were to cause a foul, and then it is our possession of ball, we're also starting a play, but this time, since they have fouled us, it's a different case, as it could be from in front of the goal post, or like a bit further but facing the goal. So this will mean that we are allowed to actually take a shot at the goal. So but it's not just about shooting, it's about what we do. So maybe one person is like faking out, or like trying to fake out the opponents by making them think that he has the ball when instead the ball is still there, and then I'll take a shot as the defenders move away, like creating that space for me to shoot into the goal. Okay, so now that we've covered these tactical problem decisions of both the net and invasion games, we are starting to see some differences. So in net games, we are only working on things that can be done on our side. As previously said, we are not able to go to the opponent's side. So such as having to find open spaces in the opponent's court so that can score. While in invasion games, finding open spaces will mean finding spots where our teammates are moving to so that we can pass to them, so that we can create the opportunities to score a goal. In net games, the opponent's court is the goal, but in invasion games, the goal is in form of a goal post where there could be a goalkeeper and there are also defenders, so making it harder to score. So this means that we have to actually think out of plays to get past all of these challenges so that we can score the goal. So another difference would be that we can see that the tactical problems involve creating plays. So while in volleyball there could be creating plays, because there's the 3-touch rule. In badminton, there's no such thing as you have to hit it right before the shuttlecock lands on your court. While in invasion games, as you can see, it's kind of more of like there's always a lot of players on your side, and you can always pass to them anytime. That's why we are able to create the plays that are important and requires the whole team to work together in order to score the goal. Another difference would be that there's a extra component of play initiation will be the reason to why we want which would back up our point of creating the plays. So there's also a difference in defense, as in net games, the players are focused on stopping the ball from touching their side of the court when making use of various techniques such as receiving. While in invasion games, the defense is about man marking, and the techniques that allow us to use to steal back the ball to gain possession. So in floorball, maybe it's kind of like putting the stick down so that we cover more area. So another reason would be because in invasion games, the only way to prevent the opponent from getting a point, which would be to guard them aggressively by trying to steal the ball away or to intercept a pass based on the situation. So this situation, let's use floorball for again, for example. Let's just say the first example will be a 2v1 situation. There are two opponents coming at you, but there's only one of you as the defender. So this is a very hard thing to defend against, because they can make plays by passing to each other constantly. So as a defender, what goes on in my mind will be, okay, maybe this guy's better at shooting, so maybe I'll try to block a pass that may be going to him, or if he's already holding the ball, maybe I'll step up to him so that I can block his shot, or like try to steal the ball away from him. Yeah, so this also talk about positioning, where I position myself to be able to block the ball. So like say, if the person has a better shooting that is coming to me, I go up to him, or if the person that's better shooting is without the ball and is anticipating a pass, I will move myself kind of like in the middle of them so that I can get the ball while they're trying to pass to each other. And then the next example will be in the next situation will be a 1v1. So in the 1v1 is very much simpler to defend, because it's you against their one guy. It's no longer them being able to create plays by passing to each other, because he has no one to pass to. So basically now it's just about how we defend against him. So in a 1v1, it's definitely going against him straight on aggressively. We want to get the ball back, so it's kind of like using the various techniques such as pushing him a bit, causing a 50-50, which is still legal in the game, and also like using our body first, because body first in floorball is very important, because holding a stick is not stronger than using our bodies to push. Yes. Okay, so now as sports coaches, when we are coaching sports, we also have to keep in mind what type of sports we are teaching and the tactical problems and decisions, as well as how the game is played, so they can come up with the relevant lesson plans required for the students. As you know, there are differences between net and invasion games, so then we have to think of, as mentioned earlier, the different tactical problems, tactical decisions, so that our players will be able to improve. As coaches, we can always adapt our lesson plans. So lesson plans can always have include multiple tactical problems based on the duration. So maybe it can be a combination during offense tactical problem day. It can be about creating plays and working on our shooting accuracy. So that's all for today's RJ. Thank you very much.